Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, move the flag.
Oh, it has
Who did that?
Oh, we can't, we haven't got room. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We gotta move this on camera.
You want to do it now? No.
First item, where'd Joe go? Joe,
First item, where's Joe?
here he comes.
Already did the first item, Joe.
No, after the pledge.
Be the
Second move, we approve the agenda.
Move.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion's approved. Next item is minutes for approval, 528, 528, and 610.
We're doing them all as one.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes for 5/28, the special meeting on 5/28, and July 10th, or June 10th, as presented.
Second.
Okay, motion is second. Any discussion? Any discussion of the minutes? Any changes,
I didn't see any.
additions, corrections? Joe? No? Dick?
I
No?
did not find
Zach? Okay.
No, not from the May 28th. I'm going to abstain
Oh, all right, okay.
because I wasn't there for a couple of them.
Okay, all those in favor accepting the minutes as presented signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
Motion passes. Citizens comment, yeah, which one did you abstain from, so that Eliza,
Well,
the whole thing?
The whole thing, because I was not at the special meeting.
Oh, okay.
Or the
As long as
last
Eliza
regular,
has it, no
right.
problem. Okay.
Right.
Citizens' comments. Don't see any. Oh, yes, there's one.
Plastic,
Jim Thomas.
you asked me to reappear. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, the gentleman who I deal with at Trex ran off and got married, didn't come back till today. And Mike and I haven't been able to get together as well. But as I understand it, the $12,000 price installed for the baler is basically no risk. If it doesn't work out, they're willing to take the machine back. The other thing is, if you have questions, he is willing to come to a meeting.
$12,000 for that investment, seems like we'd like to have him come to a meeting.
Would you like to give me some dates to give him? Let me ask you another question. Do you want, I've talked to Pulteney, or a selectman from Pulteney, a selectman from Fairhaven, who are somewhat interested in the plastic bag situation because they got the same problem that we've got. It doesn't fit into the Casella zero sort plastic situation. And so, do you want a joint meeting? Do you want, or to invite them to a meeting? Do you want a special meeting, or do you want it at a regularly scheduled meeting?
Regularly scheduled meeting in the summer. Next meeting is July 8th. How does that work, Mike?
Yes, we have a 30-minute request from Passive to come in and do a brief, so take that into consideration. You got
Okay.
30 minutes already on top of that for them to come in and talk about our insurance, so we can compare it to a private insurance the following meeting. So it's just gonna be a longer meeting, but
What's your pleasure, gentlemen?
Well, I was just going to ask Jim, if you were successful in getting information on towns the size of Castleton have used this program?
He took the position that he's in, he took it over about 2-3 months ago, and he isn't aware of any towns in Vermont that are doing it. The program that they have with the grocery stores is a national program, so what happens is when Shaw's takes the bags, they take them, send them back to their distribution point. They're baled there, and sent. So all the grocery stores were in on it, but it's a national contract. It has nothing to do with, the local store really doesn't have any say.
But I think some of us were wondering whether a town as small as Castleton can generate enough volume of bags to meet the goals of this program.
And I tried to get that information out of him, but he had other things on his mind, and I wasn't able to get an exact, but the comment that the price, the $12,000 comes out of the plastics. If you fill a trailer, which is 40 bales, then it's 5 to 7 cents a pound, which is $2,000 for a trailer load. And if the price goes up, you get more. If the price goes down, but their standard is 3 years payback on the baler. So that's what they're looking at. They're willing to give you a tractor trailer, but you've got to come up with 40 bales a month, and I don't think we'll hit that under any circumstance. They will provide cardboard recycle bin, but I'm not sure that that's going to last very long out in the weather. And it does much better in the grocery stores. They said if you're paid off and up and running, they've got metal bins, but they're at a price, and he didn't give me a price on those.
Zach?
I just don't know that we're gonna generate the volume to constitute spending $12,000 on that baler.
Well, you're,
Unless we could get Castleton, Fairhaven, Pulteney to split the cost. But then the problem is, you gotta put it in a centralized location, and are all three towns gonna bring all the plastic bags to that centralized
I
location?
thought plastic bags are outlawed in Vermont as of July 1.
Single-use plastic bags will be outlawed as the grocery store, but I'm not sure that all of the plastic goes away, because in that recycling are your bubble wrap, your air pads that you get stuff shipped to you, the wrap for bottles of water. The 24 bottles of water come with a plastic wrap on them. That wrap is recyclable. Dry cleaner bags, the wood pellet bags. So that I'm not sure, even though the grocery store bag is going away, I'm not sure that that's going to be, it's going to solve your bag problem at the transfer station.
I think don't we need a complete proposal? Is this going to require more personnel, additional personnel at the transfer station?
No.
What is the total cost to town? We have to have some kind of a proposal so we can react to it, and hopefully, if this gentleman is coming in on 22nd, which I guess is the
Second,
next.
well, in either meeting, we've got people coming and giving 30-minute presentations, so it doesn't matter which meeting it is, and just if the board wants to add more time to that meeting, that's all. That's what I was bringing up. But I think what Jim is saying too, we're not making a $12,000 like out-of-pocket investment. It's supposed to repay itself over time. The question that I posed is, will we generate enough to pay for it over time? Because at the end of 3 years, the town will have to pay whatever that delta is between them.
Yeah.
Or if it doesn't work, they'll take it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, the taking it back part is, that's, Jim just mentioned that today to me, because that wasn't part of the first meeting that we had, that if it doesn't work out, they come in and take it back, and I just don't know if there's any financial liability at that point.
But that's why I would suggest that we get him here, because he can answer the question better on the volume as well.
Will he be willing to provide us with a concrete proposal that we can react to, that would be in our packets prior to the meeting?
Well, you say a concrete proposal, but I'm not sure how much of that concrete proposal is his. The question of who's going to run it and where the plastic go is a question for the town, not for him. His question would be, the questions for him would be the terms of the contract, which they installed a new baler. Now, one of the other things is you don't have to use their baler. You can go out and buy a used baler. But as I understood this, it's a risk-free. If it doesn't work, they take it back. If you buy a baler and used baler and it doesn't work, or the equipment's bad, you're stuck. This is a brand-new baler.
How long has this company been in existence?
Trex.
They make the
No,
decking.
decking.
The gentleman you're working with.
Trex.
Okay,
Well, Trex has been around a long time.
yeah, Trex.
Trex.
So this guy is a part of Trex?
This guy is
Okay,
Trex.
I do have a couple of things.
yeah, I know, I'm gonna get to. Okay, Dick, or Zach, anything else?
No, not for me.
Okay, Joe? Okay, Dick.
Well, the things that we need to be prepared to discuss at that point in time is the infrastructure requirements that this, I understand the baler would be provided at no cost, and then we have to generate enough plastic to justify, to pay it back, you said over 3 years?
That's their
Okay.
idea.
All right, so there's one thing we know. The things that we don't know are what infrastructure requirements would be necessary to operate this baler. i.e. power requirements, is it three-phase power, is it?
It is three-phase.
And then, does it need a building, does it need a roof, a concrete pad, all that?
It-
Because all that kind of stuff, let me finish, please, before you say anything. Because all that kind of stuff is going to be at our expense, and we need to know that as part of this whole decision-making process. I mean, I'm not opposed to this. This is a great idea, assuming that we can justify the cost. So, those are the kind of things that we need to know, in addition to just what the baler costs and what they are looking for as far as us generating volume of plastic waste.
They do not care about the volume of plastic or the rapidity that you send them plastic. They prefer a full tractor trailer, which they define as 40 bales, without pallet, stacked 3 high. The terms of the repayment are that for the first 3 years, the money is credited toward the 12,000. So it's a no cash out of pocket.
I understand all that.
It does need a pad, it does need cover, it needs to be dry, and the plastic needs to be dry.
And the bales weigh approximately 1,000 pounds.
Approximately 1,000
So we
pounds.
have to have some mechanism to enable
Well-
us to stack them 3 high in a tractor trailer as well.
I say that,
So, these are the kind of things that we need to be
Yeah.
prepared to discuss when this guy comes in.
the,
And I'm not looking for answers right now because I don't think they exist.
well, I can answer the question on the bales, because that's here. They have a minimum size bale and a maximum size bale. The minimum size bale is 24 by 36 by 42. The maximum is 36 by 48 by 72. This baling machine does 60 by 30 by 48. So it's at the max, it's at the upper size. They'll take a bale anywhere from a minimum of 750 pounds to a maximum of 1,200 pounds.
So I was ballparking 1,000 pounds per bale. So we
He
have to have
ballparked-
a way to pick
he-
that up.
He ballparked that as, when he talked to me, that the average bale was 1,000 pounds.
Yeah. So we have to have the infrastructure to handle that.
I,
And that's part of the cost that we're gonna have to
the
consider.
Lions Club is willing to contribute toward the building, pad and building, but again, they would like, when I go to them with a specific request, they would like a number. And your numbers and our numbers are off because you're tax-free and we're not, so.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what all the different questions are so that we can start getting answers so we can make a good decision. That's all.
Pad, cover, the baler should be out of the weather. and a dry spot, they'll take as few as 20 bales at a time. If they take 20 bales, the transportation is more expensive, and therefore the take is going to be less.
Okay, I'm done now, Jim.
Okay. With all the, seems to be a multitude of questions that we have, would it be better to wait till the 22nd?
Yes.
So that, and maybe Jim and you can get together
Yeah, just give us some
and
time.
talk about this and come up with something that is as comprehensive as possible.
I would agree with that.
One thing we'll need an answer to is, do we have three-phase power at the transfer station?
We do. Right across the road, that's it. So
Do we
Okay,
have a
all set,
three-phase
Jim?
service?
No.
All set?
Okay.
Okay, any other citizens' concerns? Seeing none, appointments, Planning Commission, DRB.
Just skipping the police update.
Oh, police update, sorry, chief.
Sorry.
I was kind of enjoying this conversation on the bailiff. Okay, everybody get a copy of my report, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So for May, Sarah calls went up a little bit. We had more accidents in May, a few more direct patrols, a lot more medical emergencies. That I can't tell you why they went up more. Just more people were injured and got hurt, more calls from the ambulance. Criminal arrests, just a few more up than the month prior. Traffic violations down a little bit. As the summer peaks out, we will be obviously more and more because Route 30 and Creek Road, we had an accident there Saturday night, so traffic is starting to really increase in those areas with all the late crowd coming up. Obviously, the high school graduated last week. That was at the university. That went well. There was no hitches. A lot of people showed up for that graduation, almost as much as a college graduation. There was a lot of people there. So right now, we're just kind of gearing up for the summer. Gearing up for the summer stuff. We're probably getting more complaints on transients. So that's something that you're gonna see more influx. We've got a few staying at the park for the summer. As warm weather hits, we're seeing more and more foot traffic. We've had to deal with a couple of different groups that came from out west that are, I don't want to term it that way, but they're not your normal citizen, to say that much. So we're seeing more and more of that. People are calling more about strange vehicles, people hanging around. We're probably getting more of those calls now. So just kind of keep a lookout on that kind of stuff. I did meet with Mr. Bruno this last week about his questions about the towing. And as you can see in the back of the report, we've got all the events that occurred. And we got the sheets attached, so I gave him the copies of that I had from the previous report, so I don't know if you've heard from him or anything. He was satisfied with that. And the reasons and so on. So I think that system works. It's just a little more admin on our part. But that's what it's gonna take to limit these wrecker wars. I think that's a good thing.
Well, and hard and fast information usually has a really good
Yeah.
positive impact on squelching rumors.
Yeah, accidents were up in May too. There was more accidents. I don't know why. It wasn't like the snow, but the weather was pretty poor. Any questions on the report?
No?
Appreciate seeing it.
I had a question not about the report, but.
Sure, go ahead.
Two things. The 4th of July being one, Scott Lobdell came in today and wanted to make sure the town was good with moving the barrier on Glenbrook so the parade could go up through there. He's volunteered to actually move it. So he went to the university. They didn't have a problem with it, so he just wanted to make sure the town didn't. I spoke up and said, no, so we've all discussed, so.
Yeah, this is gonna be a big event next week, so it's gonna be interesting how many people show up and how the park events go, because we're gonna hold traffic a little longer than normal. Because once we get into Glenbrook, they're gonna come around, a bunch of people gotta get back to the park. So it's gonna be a little bit, so that's something on the website we need to inform people. Invariably though, you still got people They don't check the social media, or they may not know about the extent of this particular parade because it's bigger than normal. And I think every year it's been a good thing, I think. It's been really good on the involvement, so.
And the second thing, Chief, is I got a visit from Steve Cushman, from Cushman Towing, and he wanted to get on the list, and he said he'll put a record stationed over here if, that's all, I'll come and talk to you about it, but just so it's transparent, he wants to be on the list.
Joe?
I was just going to mention, Pete, that some towns that I've driven through at parade season will post a sign like a couple of days ahead of time. Have you given any thought?
You know,
to that?
and I'm glad you brought that up, Joe, because of course I came from Woodstock. They do like 5 or 6 parades a year there, so they always mark it a couple weeks prior. That's something that I thought about, we just haven't done it. We just gotta make some permanent signs that you can put up, on each side of 4 Main Street, coming off exit 5. And then probably coming off the 4 corners, I'm trying to think the main areas you want to hit, the main throughways. So that's something that I think we should do. We won't be able to do it this particular parade, but that's something we need to plan for.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else, Ron?
No.
Okay, thanks, Chief.
Yep.
Next item is appointment to the DRB, the Planning Commission. The first one on there is the Development Review Board. And according to what we have, Bob Day has agreed to be reappointed for a 1-year term to the Development Review Board.
I would move that we appoint Bob Day to that position.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next one is the Planning Commission, and it seems as though all the members of the Planning Commission are in here because of the fact that there were resignations and so forth, and so the staggered terms all came to due at the same time. First one is Janet Curry to be appointed for a 3-year term to 6/30/22. Is there any motion on that?
Can we build in discussion before we make a motion?
Well,
Oh, okay.
we're not really
I'll take-
supposed to, but
Okay.
sometimes we do that.
I'll make the motion
Second.
What's
okay.
the motion?
for Janet,
For a 3-year term?
for the 3-year term expiring June 30th, 2022.
Okay.
Okay,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Should we table the appointments until we get the chairwoman in to discuss what's been going on between Planning Commission and DRB?
Can if you want.
Just something that crossed my mind a few minutes ago.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we table.
Well, wait a minute, we have a motion.
Right.
We have a second? And we have a
Yes.
second. Now,
Yes.
if you want to change that, you want to withdraw your second and motion?
Okay, so I will withdraw my motion.
I will withdraw the second.
Okay.
Okay?
And I will
takes
make,
care of that.
and I will make a motion to table all planning commission appointments until the next regular meeting.
I'll second that.
Wait a minute. No, because we wanna, hang on, I'm trying to plan this all out. No, because we wanna have the chairwoman in for for a meeting before this, so can we in fact get her in on the 8th?
Well, you could, again, you could go to the 22nd if you wanted to, and ask the chair to come in on the 8th for discussion.
What are the
That's a
ramifications
possibility.
what are the ramifications of not having a planning commission in place for 3 weeks?
Right.
That's a good point.
That's,
Good point.
so can we hold a special meeting before the 8th?
Have one on 4th of July if you want.
Hey, I got the day off, so.
Have one earlier that, on the 8th?
Earlier on the 8th? Yeah.
Killing me.
You could do that.
Well, you got the sewer commission thing too, so.
Yeah, so now you're pushing it back to 5 o'clock, 5:30, and I don't get out until
Or do it after the meeting.
6 at the, right, do it after.
So you have to come in another day.
So what's your pleasure, gentlemen? Do you want to, could you come in, could we have the chair in at 6:30 on the 8th, and then vote on it
Okay.
vote on it at the regular meeting?
Right, and then do sewer
Can people make
afterwards.
that? I mean,
And then do sewer, yeah.
yeah,
And then do sewer after the regular meeting.
Yeah.
At
The sewer
9
at the
o'clock,
end.
9:30,
Yeah.
whatever.
okay. How's that, Joe? and Dick?
That's good?
Good?
Okay with that.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, so the motion is to table?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to table, the planning commission appointments until the next regular meeting on July 8th.
Okay,
And I will second that motion.
okay, motion second. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I ask for clarification?
Pardon, sure.
Can you tell me, so you're requesting that the planning commission chairperson come in prior to that?
Yes. Yeah, at the beginning of the meeting.
On the,
At 6:30.
On the
8th.
6:30
Right.
on the
6:30 on
8th,
the
yes,
8th,
okay.
on July 8th.
We just gotta remember to warn, do we warn that?
What?
Yeah, we gotta warn it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. You just have the executive session first, that's
Right.
Right. Okay, now something exciting, the winter salt bid, winter sand bids.
Wahoo.
Mike, is the number on this document accurate?
I did not verify it, so I'd be lying to you if I told you.
Fair enough.
No, it's not.
So I asked Karen to add them up, and I don't know, I didn't verify it, so.
Oh, wait a minute.
Well, let me do
Oh, yeah, it
that.
is.
Let me do the math real quick, and then
Hold
I'll
on.
make a motion.
15, 25.
Yeah, down at the bottom.
Down at the
Doesn't make any
bottom.
difference.
Oh, on this piece.
On the,
The one on
on
the
the
bottom.
letter, if you're looking for the
Okay.
final number.
All right, here we go. Are you ready, Mr. Chairman?
Oh.
I'm ready.
I'll make a motion that we award the winter sand contract for 2019-2020 to Stan Martell Sand and Gravel at $15.25 per yard for a total of 4,000 yards at $63,200.
Second.
63? I've got 53 on
I've
mine.
got 61. Hang on, I'm doing it right now.
500 of that is from the leftover from this year.
It's 61. For 4,000 at 15.25. And that is, yeah, delivered.
Yeah.
So the final number is 61.
Flat, 61 even?
Yeah, but
All right, I'll
why?
change my motion to
Oh,
61,000.
hang on a minute, hang on.
Yeah, I was looking at Paul's bottom line in
Oh,
this note there.
Now, what's this? It's showing 15.20, oh, no, that's that's not delivered.
That's for 3,500
That's-
yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Okay, everybody have it clear now?
Yep.
You're all set?
I'll say it one more time. We'll make a
I
motion
appreciate that.
to award the contract for this coming year, fiscal year 2019-2020 winter sand, to Stan Martell Sand and Gravel at $15.25 a yard for 4,000 yards for a total of $61,000.
Second.
Okay, motion second. Any further discussion? Nope. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, that's in this.
I didn't see one in the packet, so I'm not sure.
Just the original, yes. Okay, the next item is sign the annual financial plan for the town highways.
I did not get that in my packet.
Yeah, I didn't either, all I see is what's in the original.
Yeah, I don't have it in my
Mike, can you
packet. So
comment on that?
that annual financial plan is for V-Trans when they're, for their grant issuing numbers. So those numbers are figured by V-Trans based on the miles of road of different classes. And Brian Sanderson put that together, sent it back to us so that the town, 'cause if you read the bottom, it says, does the town appropriate at least, I can't remember off the top of my head what it said, about at least $300 per
Yeah.
something. So we do. We have $200,000, a little over $200,000 for highway, just paving, but the overall budget far exceeds that. So that's just, it's a formality that gets done every year. That says, hey, town, you've spent enough money out of your coffers for maintenance of your roads, and we qualify for paving grants and structures grants. The actual budget, I think it's 1.1 million or something like that, is the actual highway budget.
Yeah.
So that's the only number that we had to provide them, everything else they calculate.
So what we're doing is we're certifying that we spend at least $300 per mile for each
Yes.
mile of class 1, 2, and 3 town highways in the municipality, and that is a safe number.
That is a safe number.
And I make a motion that we approve and sign the annual financial plan for town highways, form number TA-60, as presented.
Second.
Okay, do you gentlemen want to see this, or are you happy with it?
I'd like to see it.
Okay.
It's gonna raise your taxes.
I know it is.
Well, we already budgeted.
That's why I wanted to see
It's
it.
well over $300 a mile, so.
Yeah, look at this.
Thanks, Joe.
Local emergency management plan.
Yep. What do we got for, so the quotes for this, on the agenda, under 735 is quotes for scarifier and bucket.
Wait a minute, we're not there yet.
Oh.
Hold on.
Because you skipped that when you were going to local emergency management plan, so,
Okay.
sorry.
No,
I didn't even hear you say that, Jim.
but no, we didn't go to,
Yeah, we missed the scarifier. We'll come back to it right now. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, do we?
we gotta
vote on
vote.
this?
Yeah, we gotta vote.
vote before we go on to
Oh,
the,
yeah. Okay,
we gotta sign it too.
right. Well, that's why I passed it around, so, because it's only one copy, so everybody could see it.
Right.
Did you get to see it? You got it there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
All
holding
right.
on to it until we pass it, then I'll
Okay.
sign it and pass it
All
down
those
to
in
you.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, I guess we can sign that. Now the local emergency management plan, municipal adoption form.
Yep. Now, this can be, doesn't have to be signed tonight. I'm gonna pass these around. This is a copy of the local emergency management plan, which is new. It used to be the local emergency operations plan. It's changed. This is an annual requirement due to the state of Vermont. This copy right here has been vetted through the Rutland Regional Planning Commission. So I'd like to give it to you for your review, and we can vote on, or you guys can vote on that the next meeting. You don't need to do it now, unless you don't want to read through that.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
are we skipping over the scarifier bids?
we're coming back.
Okay.
We missed it, yeah. Coming
There's
back.
extra copies.
We can give one
is for
to,
Robert and Collins, or-
yeah, I'll put one in his box, but I'll give one to Eliza too. So this plan, basically, if there's an emergency in the town, it gives us all a document to work off from, so we're all, understand requirements, who does what. There's an explanation of what the different job descriptions are within the Emergency Operations Center, lots of contact information, vulnerable populations. So it's what I would hope that you guys would take it and review it and come back to it, so that way if you find something in there that you think will be pertinent or prudent for updating it,
Okay,
we got time to do that.
so you're suggesting we wait till the next meeting on it,
Yeah.
so we have time to digest it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike, is this the same document that we went over a couple weeks ago?
Modified.
Okay.
Now,
Right.
back to the, well, I'm sorry, Mike, go ahead.
There was some information I told you guys that Rutland Regional Planning Commission had to add. They've added it. It's in here, so.
So this supersedes the version you gave me at the meeting we had at the firehouse a couple weeks ago?
Correct.
So I'll review this one instead of that one for our next meeting over there.
Thank you.
Okay, quotes for scarifier and bucket. I believe the first one we have are for the scarifier.
I'd ask Chairman that we table this till the 8th after, because it's a budgetary thing at this point. They don't have the money to buy that right now, so
Who doesn't?
the Highway Department.
They don't have to buy it this week, you can buy it next week.
If you want to make the motion so that they can buy it after the beginning of the fiscal year?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, if you guys are, if you're
That's
happy
your
with that.
decision, like you tell them to buy it.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have the money, so they don't buy it this week.
And I looked through that, and it doesn't look like they're apples to apples either.
It doesn't, so would you rather have us hold it over?
I'd rather have you hold it, so I can just seek clarification on it.
Okay,
I was wondering about that.
okay.
Apples and apples.
Sure. Okay, now on to unregistered dog warrant. Dedra, do you have any comments on this?
No, I don't think so, unless you guys have any questions. I put it all in the letter.
How are we doing so far with unregistered dogs as compared to last year?
Not too bad. I think on last year's warrant, we had like 61. So we're at 58 right now. We have more dogs licensed right now than we did last year. We've had a lot of new people coming in, new animals.
Okay.
And licensed seem to be the same ones.
I believe when you presented us to us, or talked with us the last time, you stated that you had written a couple letters to all these people, and in most cases had not had a response.
On the unlicensed?
Yeah,
Yes, they've all got 2 late notices.
okay. Have you had much of a response on that?
Well, pretty good. The first time I sent late notices out, it was about 140.
Okay,
This last time I sent them out, it was only about 60 somehow.
okay.
So,
All right.
almost half.
And as I recall, we referred this, the board referred this to the constables for follow-up. How's that going?
To my knowledge, the constables are not following up.
Thank you.
They-
Okay. Any questions on that, gentlemen?
I know the dog warden does have the list, and last year he did work on that list diligently.
Good.
He just received it this year, about the same time I gave it to Mike and Karen to put in the packet, so.
Okay. So I believe, unless I'm incorrect, we have to accept this from you, right? So,
I just have a question.
sure, go ahead.
What is there any penalty for the owner if they fail to register their dog? Is there some sort of a citation that can be written? I know that the dog can be penalized, and I'm not really thrilled with that whole concept. But I'm wondering if there's some way we could actually penalize the owner and not have to euthanize the dog. Because I don't think a dog should be sentenced to death because his owner doesn't want to register.
I agree. Whether they can be written a citation, I think we talked to Justin about that last year. I'm not sure. I know if they're at large, they can issue a ticket. I
Would you be
have-
willing to do the research on that and let us know?
Yep.
I mean, you don't have to come back and do another meeting, you just write us a note, let us know.
Yep.
That would be great. That's all I got to do.
Okay. Joe?
Thanks for doing this.
Zach?
I'm all set.
Okay. Is there a motion to accept the list of unregistered dogs as presented by the town clerk?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Manager's update?
I have 5 talking points. The sewer commissioner meeting, I'll pass these around. There's a copy of the wastewater ordinance in preparation for the meeting. I'll get you out the draft budget once I sit down with Jeff and get that finalized as a recommendation. One of the things I'm waiting on right now is from Aldrich and Elliott for that 20-year inspection of what that's going to look like and cost-wise, because the original quote was $1.2 million. And I don't know, based on that inspection, it may change, because some things we may not have to upgrade, but we won't know until they do the inspection. I'll put one in Bob's box. Yep. So there's that for the, in preparation for the meeting, and I'll get you a copy of the draft budget.
You think we could also have an update on the illegal inflows into the system from the chief operator?
Sure.
Okay?
Talking about what you were possibly from sump pumps and stuff like that.
Illegal inflows, that would be it.
I'll actually have him come in, because he witnessed that, the one up on Bombazine and the cracks, because they had to go down in there and fix that, at that pump station. There was actually water pouring in there. So they had to shut it off, they had to get A1 down in there, and so there are some other issues, infrastructure issues they may be having that are causing some of this to happen too.
Okay. Okay.
Any questions on that?
No?
I passed out the local emergency management plan already. And then I have this to pass around. This is a copy of the historic cemetery budget since the fiscal year 9-10 up to last year. And on the back of that, attached to it, if you could pass those around, please. I had a meeting with Ken Flowers and Ray Ladd and asked them to do an inventory of the cemeteries that we have and make note of what repairs need to be made to the stones or other portions of the cemetery, like fence and stuff like that. So this is what I got back from them. I wasn't here when they dropped it off. I just give it to you as reference at this point. My conversation I had with both of them in the room is, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. I think they're just stuck on how to get it done. So there's actually a state foundation that works on cemeteries. They gave me the name of that. So I wanted to reach out to them and get them to come here, if they will, and take a look at the extent of the damages and kind of give us an estimate of what it's going to cost. Because what I'm getting from Ken and Ray is that over the years, the money that's been in the budget, and it's on that sheet, hasn't been adequate to do much with, because it's very expensive to repair the stones. So now they've been plussed up. They got $5,000 in there from this past year. They haven't done anything with it. They got $5,000 next year. The question I pose to the board is to think about encumbering that money into next year, so they got 10 grand to fix the litany of problems there. But I'd like to get somebody down here to give us a good estimate of what those costs are going to be, from the folks that know the proper way to repair a stone, and what can be repaired and what's beyond repair. What I hate to see is history keep fading away into the ground because these stones are been tipped over, broken. They're getting weather beaten, and then at some point either we lose them altogether and we lose that piece of history. Maybe we can save it so it doesn't go down that path.
To do that, we'd have to do it tonight. We're at the end of the fiscal year.
Yeah.
Do we have to do it today?
I don't know.
You can't encumber money after the fiscal year is over.
Yeah, I don't know if we did it last year, after, or before. I can't remember.
We shouldn't be doing it
Seems
after.
like you ought to do it tonight.
Ought to
And
do
that's
it
what we did
tonight.
last year. I know we did it. I think it was before the fiscal year ended, because our auditors are here now this week, and this is something I'd like to bring back to them, because it has to be made, it has to be encumbered for a specific purpose.
Yeah, that's what it
So, the repair, this one would be the repair of broken or leaning headstones in our historic cemeteries. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them listed.
Okay, somebody want to make a motion, unless there are any questions for Mike?
What would be the proper wording for motion?
Motion would be to encumber the $5,000 from this fiscal year, carry it over into the next fiscal year for the specific purpose of repair of stones in ancient or historical cemeteries.
I so move.
So moved. There's a second?
Second, yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Done.
Thank you, John. Then I got this in the mail. So apparently, the town of Castleton, if you could pass those around, please. The town of Castleton has a parcel of land, 18 acres, owned by the town of Castleton, never assessed on Bird's Eye, that Poultney, the town of Poultney is looking for us to either appeal, there has to be a written appeal by tomorrow, which I can do that tomorrow, and grievances will be heard on Wednesday, June 26th by appointment. And I can also go to the grievance if that's the route it goes, but the town of Castleton has a piece, and that's all I know at this point. The town of Castleton has 18 acres on Bird's Eye that's never been assessed. And so I like to go down there and find out what, yeah, it's over, going over the backside as,
But it's in Poultney?
yes,
Okay,
but it's owned by the town of Castleton.
okay.
You got a hand up out there.
So I'd like to contact Poultney and see if there's, if I can get a map of this place, this parcel, and some history on it, but I have to file the appeal. The retail value they're putting in is $39,500.
We can assess property in another town?
This is why I have to,
No, the town of Poultney's assessing.
the town of
Poultney is assessing.
Yeah.
Because we own
Our land-
property.
We own land
I
in
got
their
it.
town.
I got it, okay.
And
Okay.
they're actually figured it out and they want to assess a value to it.
Yeah.
Do
Right.
you want to grieve that assessment or appeal that assessment?
I'd like to get some information on the, if this has been, somebody snuck in and logged it all off and it's a, a total hot mess, then I'd like to know that too.
I think
I think Ned.
Nedger's got some clarification.
Shed some light
Oh,
on
do you have?
this.
I had a slight forewarning from Mary Jo that this was coming.
Okay.
I have been trying to search through the old records to find a deed. I asked her if Poultney had a deed. They're not sure, so I'm assuming it's before Poultney had the fire, which was like in 1860, I think. So I've been going through our records trying to find mention of or deed to this property. Apparently it was the old water reservoir. And there is a underground pipe
Conduit?
that, yeah, I don't think it's plastic, but that goes from there to the old watershed. And a portion of that pipe is still in use by the water district.
Fire District 1?
You know who
I
owns
mean,
that?
our water district.
The water district.
Okay.
So I have not found anything that I'm confident that it is what they're saying it is. I do have a copy of the Poultney tax map that says it's like 18.1 acres. From what I'm told, it's pretty much a rock reservoir that's falling in. That the water district apparently still has rights to the water and the pipe, but the town owns the land.
It's more than that,
This-
more than I know.
This is what I've heard. I've been trying to piece it together and find paperwork on it. I'm not having a whole lot of luck finding paperwork, but it's so old that I'm having to literally try to pull anything that says Town of Castleton and figure out what it is from back then.
How do we grieve this and with, especially if the water district has rights to it and it's currently being used, we can't just walk away from it. I'm not sure if that's gonna be,
I think I'd ask Mary Jo if she's here tomorrow,
You need our
as
authorization.
soon as
to-
possible.
Does he need our authorization to start the process?
Sure. Yep.
be nice just to.
Then I'll make a motion that we
Case
authorize the town manager to start the appeal and grievance process as per Title 32 of the Vermont statutes with the 18.1 acres that we own in Poultney.
Second.
Allegedly.
That way you can at least start the process, and if we decide not to pursue it, we can not pursue it, but at least you're authorized to start it. And anything else we can find out about it, yeah.
That's a motion, Dick?
That is a motion.
Is there a second?
Seconded by
Second.
Zach.
Second by Zach. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Last thing I have is sidewalk updates, just so you guys know. As of about 3 o'clock today, I spoke with, Carl Davino from Belden's, and I said, from this point on, all parts of the sidewalk project are gonna go in as planned, no deviation, no nothing. We've deviated a little bit, and I got an email from Peter Pochop today from V-Trans that basically said anything that we deviate from, that they could, when they do the final inspection, they could hold back payment and not pay for. And so that the issue at the Sunrise Plaza, to get the project going forward, at least to get the concrete laid across that entire plaza, I said, run it across the plaza, but where Bill Gilbert's property is, to leave a 24-foot opening so that traffic could still get through there. The sidewalks are across. That isn't the issue. It was whether or not it gets paved and it's a secondary, or for him, a primary way of egress, ingress. It sounded like today that if I tried to do that, then they're gonna not pay for it. So we can't. That got us, Joe Howard was called and he was adamant that nobody works on my property, but the board gave him 2 weeks, and I gave him a little more than that, to get a letter to us saying that Bill Gilbert did not have access, illegal access to that. The letter came back from his attorney, which was Gary Cuffer, that said there's permits that have been issued to that place, that in the future, if we cut off access to it, it could cause some permitting issues in the future. But there was nothing in there about that Bill Gilbert had no legal right-of-way or easement through that property. So he didn't do what we asked him to do. So I said, move forward, get it, go across, but leave that space just in case. But we're coming to the point now where that just in case is, I'm gonna have to have them finish as planned. And then any civil battles that happen subsequent to that would ensue between the two property owners. And at that point, V-Trans, because it's being installed by their surveyors, their engineers, everything that got done. So what I really found out, the bottom line is, they keep saying it's a town project, but it's really, the town has not much say to it, because it's on the state's right of way. So they're moving forward with everything, the rest of this project as planned. There was already a cost overrun of a little over $10,000 in pavement that they underestimated. So we don't want to keep adding to overruns.
Questions for Mike? Joe? Dick?
Have all the outstanding issues with other landowners been either resolved or gone away? I guess would be the right way of putting it.
No, and some places haven't been finished yet. So, but the one that for Borkland's next to your house,
Yeah.
Zach, that got put in as planned by mistake, because they had received permission to put their driveway on the east side of the house by V-Trans. Well, it's not a permit. I found today, they said, oh, it's not a permit. We just granted it. It's up to the town. Well, they already put the pavement in on the west side, so it's done. He's not happy. You may even get phone calls from him, but it's done as planned. There's no financial liability to the town at this point.
Okay.
Is that?
I'll talk to you after the meeting about that. So just in case he calls me, I want my ducks in a row.
Okay, anything else anything in Mike's report? Okay, moving on, select board comments. Zach?
Nope, I actually had a question answered earlier, so I'm all set.
Okay, Dick?
I'm good.
Joe?
I've mentioned this before, Mike, hoping that we can get a signed, officially printed copy of the conflict of interest policy.
Okay, I've talked to Karen, she may have it done, so it was all in the same letterhead, is that, but, because there was a question about making sure everything was on the same letterhead.
Yeah, I mean, some of our policies are in a fairly, attractive-looking format, but also most of our policies have been signed by the select board, and that one hasn't been.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? I have one thing. As you know, there is a plan to eventually extend the sidewalk up Route 30 as far as the medical center, and a hearing for Mrs. Moore next door, who wants to maintain her access. Route 30, I believe, is scheduled for July 8th. I had a call from her representative asking me or someone else to be at the hearing and support Mrs. Moore's appeal. What's your feeling on this? Should we be supporting Mrs. Moore's
I think
appeal?
so.
This is a
Think
case
so?
where she does not have a curb cut that she's been using as a driveway.
She has, what V-Trans has said to her is, you must use the entrance off side street.
Yeah.
You no longer have that, even though she's had it for 60 years. And it's not, from what I've seen, it's not used very often.
But she's got the curb cut now on 30, but she's gonna lose the curb cut
That's correct.
when they go up through the,
What
okay.
happened
correct.
is, when that house was built, Preston Lane did not exist.
Right.
That's true.
And that was the driveway.
Yep.
Right,
It's the house right next door.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that was the driveway onto Route 30. And then when Preston Lane was built, they went around the backside of the house
Yeah.
and used that as an entrance as well, but they still maintained the entrance onto Route 30, or still use it occasionally. It's not used often.
Okay.
And to her credit, when Preston Lane was shut down during the sewer
Yeah.
project, she allowed all the residents to use that driveway. You know, and I think that we should at least go to the meeting and say,
Yes.
somebody should go to the meeting and say, you know, that we're
Yeah.
in support of this.
Yep.
Okay. That your feeling, gentlemen?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. We did discuss a little bit about having one meeting in July and August, but it seems as though things have begun to pile up tonight. What are your thoughts on that? You want to still try for one meeting in July and one meeting in
I don't
August, or do
see
you
how
want to
it's
go into two?
I don't see how it's gonna work that way, but if we can do it, let's do it. If not, then
If we can do what, at one meeting?
just have one meeting, but it
Right.
sounds like we're gonna have to have two.
Okay.
Yeah, I would be inclined to give you the discretion to make that call based on the agenda.
It's very nice of you, Joe.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
for the insurance folks, if you go to one meeting in July, then
Oh,
you would have a conflict of both of them being here at the same night. If you choose to do that, I can arrange it, but you're talking an hour plus, and then you got your competitors sitting in the room with each other. I'm not sure.
Okay, sure. So your recommendation is?
Maybe in August.
I'd say
Right,
go
let's try
do
for
2 in
August.
July and then.
Try for August? Okay, well, so I guess we'll go for 2, it appears, in July, and then we'll try for 1 in August.
I'm willing to discuss it, but you already know my feelings. Every time we try this, every year we try this, it doesn't work, so.
Well, that's debatable.
Well, that's my opinion.
Well, let's wait
Okay.
until late July, see
I'm not
what's.
opposed to revisiting it after
Right.
we have the 2 July meetings.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
so we have it settled for 2 in July, and we'll discuss probably the second meeting in July, if we have 1 or 2 in August, depending on the load. Warrants for approval.
Make a motion, we approve warrant number 0624R for $650. Warrant 0624 for $111,652.71. Warrant 0620 for $1,570,346.43. Warrant 0613 for $30,840.83. Warrant 0620P for $15,921.76. And warrant 0613P for $16,070.93.
Second.
Okay, motion is second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I don't seem to find the originals on these warrants.
Are they in the red folder?
No, they're not. Oh, wait a minute, here we go. Yeah, that's where I put them. Yep, thank you.
The folder that says
And we
warrants
got a
right
couple
on it.
others there too.
I'll make a motion, we approve warrant number 0619P for $635.84. Warrant number 0612P for $504.17. Warrant number 0605P for $504.16. And warrant number 0529P for $504.16.
I recuse myself.
All those in favor?
I second the
vote.
motion.
You second it?
Second
Okay.
discussion, I just got a question.
Sure. Why?
Why?
Because we had a possible conflict with only three of us here at the last meeting, so we postponed it till tonight.
Well, no, I'm talking
Where?
the first warrant.
Yeah, that's it.
Why, oh, so they,
No, I was just looking for that, I knew that question.
Oh, okay, the first number?
yeah, because we
I
had
guess what you
something
wanna know is why the
similar.
number's higher?
Right,
I don't know the answer to that.
because we had something similar happen, at, at our business. You, for payroll, do you do QuickBooks? Or does Melanie use QuickBooks, or
No.
what does she?
Right
do?
on top, Mike.
Okay, then it's not the same thing.
It's,
No, I was looking for that particular one, I'm not seeing it.
I have it right here. I don't know what the difference is, but.
All the ones
probably
I
one
see.
is a 3-week payroll and the other two are
Ah, that could be,
2-week payrolls.
that could be.
I'm gonna guess, because one month had 5 weeks in it.
Okay.
I don't have an issue, I'm
That
just
could be it.
curious.
I'm only guessing, I'm not.
Yep.
I don't even look at those warrants, to tell you the truth.
Okay,
right.
guess we're ready for a vote?
Yep.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And you're recusing yourself, Dick?
I am.
Okay. I guess we're ready to sign. Oh, I got a bunch of them here.
Yeah, there's, we got 11, 10. We start moving them along? Joe?
Sure.
Let me have some of those, Joe, and I'll hand them over to that.
Thank you.
The amount's the same, weekly amount, it was a change on deductions. She had, more taken out in the other weeks than that week. So, but her hourly amount is all the same.
I didn't know you could do that. Change your deductions.
It wasn't taxes, it was it's other deductions, so.
Oh.
You can do that too, Zach. You can change your.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Look at your W-4, and then W-4 is only a guideline. You can pretty much have a payroll, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
The only problem you get into that is if you
Oh, you don't
vote
wanna
too
do this one.
much.
You probably don't.
One of these I have to recuse myself from.
Yeah, okay.
The other one I can do.
We give them to, you want to do this, Joe, or?
Please do them separately, Joe. Yeah, if you withhold too much or too little, you can be penalized by the IRS.
Yeah. Come get me.
Not too much if you withhold too much.
Yeah, if you withhold too much,
They
they will
don't,
penalize.
they'll take that.
Right.
No, they will
They'll put that in the
penalize
bank.
Yeah, right.
you. If you're, no, you need to.
You need to make the
sign it.
make
You
the
need to
motion on
vote.
that.
We have to,
How many room?
it'll be all right.
Jim. Ready?
11?
Is that the worst thing you're
11?
gonna do today? We're good.
Have a good day.
If anyone who's self-employed, Jim, you have to be careful.
All right, we're missing one.
Oh, to be right.
Missing one?
Yeah.
So, Mike, is one of these for the first, Castleton
Yeah.
first response?
10.
For fire department.
Oh, you said 11.
It'll save,
It's 10.
so it's fire department, it's for
Jim.
their
10, right?
retirement program is the first one, the annual premium
Where are you
for
counting?
LoSAP.
Must be that Rutland math.
And the second one
Mine says 10. it's higher.
is, we're good, I gotta find it.
Plus 4,
Right, 10.
whatever that is.
There you go. Just had it.
Well, I guess in
I think
Jim's
the other one
world,
was
that's
for,
11.
We're talking about one, so yeah,
Right.
well, I'm lying, because I don't know.
Didn't teach math.
I lost it.
probably good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, benefits. So the 7,500 for VIS benefits, and the other one is for retirement.
Both of these,
One's
19...
first responders and one's fire.
Well, the second one is for first response. So it says first response under department. What's their benefits? I don't even know what their benefits are.
They get the same retirement package we, the fire department does, I think. Or something very similar.
So the first one's for the VEIS annual premium for the fire department's retirement program, and the second one is for VIS benefits for first responders. And they're both for retirement.
So I guess I want to move that we approve purchase order number 038564 in the amount of $7,500 for VFIS benefits.
Second.
Motion to second, all those in favor?
Aye.
And I would also like to move approval of purchase order 043324 in the amount of $23,763.86 for the LoSAP retirement program.
I'll recuse myself.
Second.
Okay, motion to second, all those in favor? Aye. Okay,
Now we get it.
That's one we couldn't do last week because we only had,
Right.
two people that weren't
Quorum.
me. We had a quorum, we just didn't have people that weren't me.
okay, executive session?
There's one
Do
alibi.
we need one?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I just want to alibi, just so you guys are aware, that Chris Ruffin from the employee at the wastewater treatment facility has resigned. This is his last week of work, so we're actively going to be searching for a replacement for him at the wastewater treatment facility.
I'm going to make a motion that we enter into executive session for labor relations and contracts with the town manager and the board.
Second.
Motion second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can you tell me what time?